I'm in Hallstatt village, Austria, and we're going to hike to the Hallstatt Skywalk Welterbeblick. I will show you how to get there on foot. The World Heritage Hallstatt Skywalk sits at 350 metres above Hallstatt village. There's a lot of tourists from Asia here. I believe there's a replica village in China based on Hallstatt. Also, I believe it got started becoming a tourist hotspot after the film Frozen was released, as it reminded a lot of people of some of the scenes in the film. So I'm going to basically go back to where I was earlier and start to make that climb up to the skywalk, hopefully, and see what views we can obtain up from up there. We're starting coming into the busier area again now. As you can see, it's pretty busy and not very hermit friendly. I have a lot of sympathy for the locals. These damn tourists. Thank God, I'm one of them. Just going into the market square. Isn't too busy at the minute. Probably because it's raining quite heavy now. I can see somebody over the top of the waterfall, way over up there. I think that's where I'm heading towards. If I can. I'll go out the back of the market square. Find those steps up. And then hopefully that takes me to the zigzag path up to the skywalk. So this is fed by the waterfall, and this eventually goes down into the lake. I bet that hotel at the opposite end of the market square isn't cheap to stay in. I think the most expensive hotel I've ever stayed in is in Banff in Canada. It was £165 per night, and that was one of the cheapest hotels around. I was like, my eyes were watering, but you know, this is a lovely place. Pity I wasn't vlogging back then, because I had a cracking time there. So we're going to make our way up. That's what we're trying to get onto, the Muller Stieg. That's my Austrian pronunciation. It's probably worse than my Welsh and my Scottish. Takes me all the time to speak English proper. So we're halfway up those steps and follow the sign for the Mullersteig. So I'm almost at the top of those steps that I showed you earlier on, that before I went into the square. We're not too far from the top. You can see another ferry coming in. Let's go up to the top here. So we just made up to the next section of stairs, and this view. See the car park where we was a little earlier. We'll now make our way higher. There's a lot of signs where the residential people here are stopping people from coming on the property, and you understand why. So they put like fences and chains across and barriers just to spell it out to people that it's private, keep off my land. As you can see here, it's this sort of thing where somebody's property, a very nice piece of property it is too. They don't, I bet they're not very cheap either. But this one looks a nice place for a photo stop. We have a cat. Cat coming looking for something. Certainly not scared of me. So just making our way up this path now. It's not that steep. I've been up considerably steeper paths in the last few months. Quite an easy path as of yet. So I've just come from down there, and obviously I think that comes from, I would guess, the start of the funicular, perhaps. So I'm going towards the salt mine where the Skywalk is. I've just changed the battery in here. That's a lovely French family. And I'm going to head up this path, which zigzags up to the Skywalk. The rain's coming down pretty heavy now though. So I'm just making the climb up the zigzags. It's not too steep. You can see it's raining pretty heavy now. There's kind of a mist going across the path. Just come across some memorial, not a clue what that says. And then I think this is what's meant to be a bit of a viewpoint, but I'm not really getting any views. Well, I'm kind of seeing through Orbitron in the distance. Quite high up now, so we can't be too far away from the Skywalk. Must be at least halfway, I would have thought. So it's a nice spot. I had to stop for a second or two. I was at this old mining entrance. The Roman numerals I'm a bit rusty on, but I think that's 1856, but I'm guessing I'll check when I get home. If I've got it right, I'll have a beer. And if I've got it wrong, I'll have a beer. Anyway, we'll carry on. That looks like an old mining entrance. So the views are opening up, or kind of. Getting a bit of a taster of what we'll get from the skywalk. I don't think we're too far. 2 or 3 switchbacks. So I'm at the skywalk. It's still raining rather heavy, but we're still kind of getting some views. Not too bad, are they? I'm sure Sue at the Bud Files will appreciate this view and the drop. It's quite a big drop. I think the skywalk's 350 metres above Hallstatt. So we'll make our way across to the skywalk. World Heritage View. I assume this restaurant would be buzzing with people on a hot summer's day. So, even on a really miserable wet day, the skywalk is rammed with people. It's a good place to stop for a few photos. So we're under a bit of cover here from the cafe. There's still nobody out here eating or drinking. There's only mad people like me up here for a view of the skywalk. So I suppose I should go take my turn on the queue for the skywalk. So I may as well have a look. There's loads of people queuing and I'm sort of hogging it. So I had my 2 seconds of fame on the end. So we've been on the skywalk. So it's the zigzag path on the way down now. So that and the rain's coming down pretty heavy again now. So